Let's open the forum for anybody who wants to ask any question or doubt or clarification or comment. Everybody's still in the deep meditation now. You're not asking any questions.
Yes, thanks, PSM. Wonderful presentation. I'm glad that you're on the right path. Awesome.
Rama Shastri X wants to ask add anything?
Not really, but I enjoyed it.
Very good. Anybody? Nobody else? Rocky, you also do a lot of meditation.
I hope Gangadhar questions
Only
are
comment,
answered.
PSM, is whether something is really there. Actually, my understanding is only an appearance. So it is a majestic appearance, and but anyway, that is my my understanding. So there's not really anybody else, as you already pointed out. It's the same Atman manifesting everywhere, but by some great trick, it is making us feel that there is space and time. So.
Right. I want to add one extra definition to Maya that you gave, PSM. All the bullet points you gave are indeed definition of Maya, but interestingly, the definition of Maya is indefinable. Okay, what cannot be defined is called Maya, in the sense that it's called anirvachanayam. If you have something is there, you don't have to define it. It is there. Okay. Something is not there, obviously you can't define it because it's not there, right? So what is that which is not definable? If it is there, it's not definable because it's there. And if it's not there, there's no reason to not define it. Maya is something which is there for experience, but not there as an independent reality. Okay, it is definitely there because we cannot deny what we see as a world. Okay, because it is there for experience, but it is not really there as a substance. That's why it's called indefinable. Because if it is anything else, you can say it's not there, it's there. That's why Maya is. One definition of Maya, I shouldn't be using the word definition because you can't define Maya. One of the things, because that's why, right? You cannot put words to Maya. That's the beauty of Maya. Another quote unquote definition of Maya is the potentiality, right? For example, I can make a cup out of ceramic. I can't make a cup out of water, right? So the cup, before it became a cup, is already there in ceramic. If it's not there, I can't make it a cup. Hence, I can't make a cup out of water, right? Like that, the potentiality of a cup already exists in the ceramic. Hence, if you expand that and take every shape, every form, everything that you have, the potentiality of the particular thing that coming as a form to you is Maya. Okay, there's so many things that Maya is one of the most difficult things to grasp, but out of like somebody says, you define an elephant by different things. Blind man defines a lot of blind people are touching elephant. They're defining the touching tail and saying it's a snake. They're touching something. They're saying something. So you can do all those definitions, but ultimate reality comes only when you see the total elephant. Similarly, Maya is something that is from a world point of view, the world experience point of view, it's potentiality. A potentiality of anything that can come as a form. And second thing is, you see a cup, you're seeing a cup, and we don't see ceramic. Why don't you see ceramic? There's nothing called cup. Cup is just a shape, form, and function, and a name we give it to it. substantially, there's no cup. What exists is only ceramic. Okay, but we all look at cup and say it's cup. If somebody shows you a cup, none of us or very few of us say, I'm seeing ceramic, right? We all say, I'm seeing cup. And we think cup is real. Cup is not real. Ceramic is real. Cup is just a name, form, and shape and function that we give to ceramic. That identifying with the name, form, and shape of a particular substance and think that is reality is Maya. Okay. So anyway, I can go on for this is not my talk. But you touch a lot of things, and you touch actually saying it's not scriptural. Half your slides are scriptural presentation. Okay.
Shivram wants to say something.
Yes, Shivram.
Yeah, was a very engaging talk, PSM. I held on to this. I needed to go somewhere. Thank you. I got really interested towards the end of the talk. Your actual practice of meditation over the years. You said 15 years and plus many more prior to that. And the last slide where you narrated your experiences, I want to, maybe we can elaborate. The actual practice of doing this so consistently every day, day in and day out, morning and evening. You alluded to it, how it measurably or noticeably, perceptibly changed the way of you looking at things, in everyday life, every moment. How you take things, process things through your mind and respond. If you like to elaborate, if you can elaborate, I'd like to listen.
Shivram, I think I have covered that in my presentation. The actual practices, the techniques, I'm barred from sharing. It's good for me in the sense that I don't get into the guru mode. So for all, it makes me an ever student. That's good for me, and I practice that. We are barred from sharing. Yogananda lived many years back, and one thing what he did was he wrote lessons. So everything is explained in the lessons. Their techniques as such are very simple ones, and in some manner or other, most paths teach the same thing. They are all breath control, various versions of pranayama. It is not knowing about them that makes difference. It's about practicing them, and as I said, it's the sheets, the filters, or whatever we name it. Those things we are trying to penetrate, and when each of these falls away, does it fall away forever, or it keeps coming back? I can't say all these things, but it's work in progress. These things, you start looking things better, you start looking things differently, you get to the core of the matter than be disturbed by your other things, right? Your desires, anger, or moods, or likes, dislikes, irritations. So these things will stop bothering you when you are actually handling day-to-day living, and they make your vision much clearer. So this is a practical experience. Everybody who gets this, who practices these things, they get in life. It doesn't limit to this. You can't define it, why it happens, how it happens, which layer sheet is fallen off. So you just keep doing it with faith, and that the thing is going to come someday.
Okay, thank you, PSM. Yeah, I've read accounts of even neuroscientists talking about how they make practice of meditation so many long years will make you more present and alive to the moment, and not having that chatter, all those benefits, which I think you alluded to, and I'd like to hear of more such accounts. That's why I asked. Anyway, Thank you.
It doesn't make any difference, difference is only our mental chatter, and if we can stop it, or how does it sound? Only that much is matters. If I say also, it doesn't make any difference. If 10 people say or 100 people say also, it's one and the same. The most essential thing is that our own mental chatter, how do we stop? So this is one practice. Similar such practices are there which can do this.
Shivram, can I add something? Because PSM has been with me on many trips to Narmada Ji. And I've always, found it very comfortable to travel with him. Because most of the time when people meditate, they want the world to shut down. So, I mean, it doesn't work like that, right? So, I mean, Srinath Murthy, I'll be continuing with my work and, but he's he shut down. I think, that focus is that he takes responsibility for shutting down. He doesn't get hassled that the world is not shutting down, because, he wants to meditate. So I think that is a very fundamental thing I've seen is, PSM, which, I mean, the company is actually the most critical for doing these trips. And that is one great thing I've learned from him.
That's good, Rama. Thanks for adding that color experience.
Murthy,
Gangadhar.
see, there are so many things in presentation lo. అవి కామన్ టెర్మినాలజీలో వాటిల్ని అర్థం చేసుకోవటం కొద్దిగా కష్టం. సో ఈ టెర్మినాలజీని, ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ నేను ప్రెజెంట్ చేసింది సింపుల్ 15 minutes 1 hour అర్థం చేసుకొని క్వశ్చన్ వేసే స్టేజ్లో నేను లేను. బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ టోటలీ న్యూ ఫిలాసఫీ టు మీ. సింపుల్ క్వశ్చన్ ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఆస్క్ ఈస్, నువ్వు సజెస్ట్ చేసిన మెథడ్ కాకుండా మనిషికి హ్యాపీనెస్, పీస్ తీసుకోవడానికి వేరే మార్గం అని ఉందా? Yes, this is the only way one has to reach the happiness and peace.
Yeah, I have to say, the most of the slides of which I presented are not in my dictionary. They're Brahman, Atman, they are not in my dictionary at all.
Yeah.
But when I want to talk about meditation, I need to set a context for people to understand what is actually happening. I need to understand for my practice that what is happening within me. I need to see the engagement is not just in meditation alone. Engagement on a conscious level, we need to do many things to make progress in the spiritual path. That means yama niyama, the do's and don'ts, what I said. Those things which we need to avoid doing it, which those are things which we do. You must be doing already in your life. As you have passed by, you may not have been doing it earlier than in childhood, but at various points of time through experiences, you are already doing it. So this life itself is the spiritual path. What I mean to say is, these things go away and it comes. So it's not, I brought all this to make a story, compelling story. But for me, Brahman, Atman, even I don't know. I can experience certain things. But what that experience is, if I want to explain to somebody, I need the help of the script.
That's true.
That's what I have done.
We have to build it. We have to build it from the fundamentals.
Just to explain, to make it a story, more than that. But otherwise, in a meditation, we actually dissolve every thought, every definition gets dissolved in the process. So
నేను జస్ట్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, నేను చాలా సార్లు ఐ గాట్ దిస్ థాట్ కంటిన్యూస్లీ. ప్రతి వాళ్ళు గురువు కావాలి ఏదైనా అచీవ్ చేయాలంటే అనే మాట అంటారు, కానీ నాకెందుకో అది ఎప్పుడు గురువు లేకుండా మనం సాధించలేమా? If I talk with a friend like you, I may get something. If I read a good book suggested by Rama, I may get something. Even if I travel some a new person in a train, sitting with him, sometimes chatting with him, I may get something. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద లెర్నింగ్స్. సో మన మైండ్ ని ఒక ఇన్వర్డ్స్ కి ఓపెన్ చేసి ఉంచితే వి మే గెట్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. వాటిలోంచి మనము మన లైఫ్ సారాన్ని గ్రహించలేమా అని ఎప్పుడు నాకు థాట్ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. లైఫ్ లో గురువు
what you are saying is very correct. It is possible that what I said, the nature, the universe itself is the guru. If you are receptive, the first most important is if you are receptive.
Yeah.
Nature itself is the guru. Rama is an example. He has Ramana Maharshi, he has Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swami Samar, so many he has, Sai Baba, he reached. So but he most important thing there is the receptivity, the teachability. Teachability means when I am ready to receive whatever I am, what is coming in front of me is a message for me. When that is there, God, even Paramahamsa Yogananda said, God himself is the guru. Through whatever means you are willing to listen, to respond, through those means he will come and he will be communicating to you. So God is the guru. I have actually made 2 slides on guru, but Rama told me it's becoming too heavy. So I pushed those 2 slides after thank you. But it's a wonderful experience to have guru. I never saw my guru in life, but he's ever living in my heart.
See, getting a right guru is also very few people will get a chance.
Not only guru, God, whomsoever we talk, God also, Krishna. We have only one picture of Krishna, but he lived as a human being. So he would have brushed his teeth, he would have gone for bathroom and done things. He would have done all the things which you and I are doing. He would also have been doing things as human frailties. He was also there. He had. So, do we have the ability to recognize when Christ was living? How many were his disciples? What did he do after he died? He didn't do anything. Whatever he did was when he lived and whatever scriptures he said. Just imagine the Pandavas were very few in number. They were the only ones who believed that Krishna is a god, is a guru. Kauravas never believed. If today will any Hindu or any person stand and fight in front of Krishna if knowing he is a god? Will he do that? So when some guru is in front of you, your ability to recognize that he is a guru, is it there? Yes. Only in the receptive heart it is there. And when you see that you're not clouded by this other judgment, that whatever as a human being, he's also going to bathroom, he's also doing things which others are doing. Some guru is having life, is having wife, children. So these are things that can happen in a living human being. So whether these things are, and they can be subjected to interpretations. There's a media who can malign anybody. So it's very difficult at this, in the current stage, to somebody and follow lamb like. I am guru is there in my heart, is not there living. So his scriptures, whatever are there, only those. Rama has one very great statement. He says, all good gurus are dead gurus.
Rama's one-liners are fantastic.
He says something. What is that, Rama? You say?
The only good prophet is a dead one.
He's a dead one.
Yeah. So basically, we won't believe if he's alive.
So these doubts will come. This comedy, we make fun of them. So many things are there. But what matters to us is only what he says and what is relevant to us.
Yeah.
So only to that extent that a link should be there.
That should be the thing.
Gangu, the question is you have to ask yourself, right? Can you understand physics without a teacher? If you say I can, you don't need guru, right? His questions to you: are you qualified to understand physics without teacher? If you say I can understand, fine. Now let us say you agree that I need a teacher, right? Because you say I am not qualified to understand physics because I don't have the qualification. Then let's say I'm not talking about Swami Nityananda as a spiritual person. I'm talking about Swami Nityananda as a physics person, chemistry person, because he talks about physics and chemistry. And when you talk to them, do you say, is it physics and chemistry? you say it's not physics and chemistry. How do you know that? Because you know there is a book called physics, which is different from what he's talking. So there are two things here. A, you have familiarity with what is called physics, and some teacher come and talks about physics and chemistry. You say it is not physics and chemistry. And second thing is you say, I also don't know how to interpret the physics, and hence you need a guru. So you need both. You need to know that the teacher is teaching what is in the book, agreed upon book. And number two, that I need a teacher to explain that. Both go in hand.
But Sudesh, see the example you have given. Suppose mere ko that college lo oka power systems subject ఉండేది. దానికి మా గురువు ఒక రామ్మోహన్ రావు ఒక ఆయన ఉండేవాడు. కానీ ఆయన చెప్పింది ఏం అర్థం కాలేదు. అప్పుడు ఏమిటి, మేము లైబ్రరీ విఎస్కే లైబ్రరీకి వెళ్ళి 10 పుస్తకాలు చదివి లేకపోతే ఫ్రెండ్స్ అడిగి అది అలా అర్థం చేసుకొని we completed that course.
Right. So you followed scriptures. So you followed scriptures, which is books, right?
Yeah.
బట్ పవర్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఇది ఒక సిలబస్ ఉంది, బౌండరీస్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి నాకు ఏం అర్థం అవుతుంది ఏం అర్థం కావడం తెలిసింది. కానీ లైఫ్ స్పిరిచువాలిటీలో వచ్చేటప్పటికి వీ డోంట్ నో వాట్ ఈస్ వాట్. అంటే ఒక గురువు చెప్తోంది అది నిజమా కాదా, అప్లికబుల్ అదంటే ప్రాక్టికలా కాదా, ఇది రియల్లీ ఇట్ వర్క్స్ ఆన్ మీ, ఇట్ డజంట్ వర్క్స్ ఆన్ మీ, అది ఏమీ తెలియదు మనకి.
అందుకే మన గైడెన్స్ ఏం ఇస్తారంటే, the guidance they give us, obviously getting a guru is God's grace, right? You cannot say I will choose you as guru. Okay, guru has to happen.
That is fundamental, that thing I'm asking.
But you can't sit and at home and say guru will come to me, right? You have to put some effort. So what they say is, they give us one small indication. They say guru has to be both scripturally aware, he has to know the subject matter, okay, and also have to have experience in what he's talking, and most importantly, like I'm again quoting Swami Nityananda, he should have a parampara for us to guarantee that he is not talking bullshit, right? If we have a parampara, we assume, we hedge our risks and say, okay, he is not talking from his own thing, he is talking what is taught to him, and that person who taught him also was taught by somebody. So they say two things you have to put from our point of view. It's not that we are testing guru. Okay, you're saying parampara unda, Swami Yogananda unnanuko, he has a great parampara, right? So at least from our point of view, he is as a lineage, okay,
yeah.
And is he talking scriptures? Two things we put, but other than that, still we will fall into trap. That's why God's grace is very important. For you, unfortunately, for your power systems, you didn't have God's grace.
No, Gangadhar, I'll just try to simplify to the extent possible. Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే దిస్ స్పిరిచువల్ I cannot speak now because I don't have that knowledge. You see, for that second year 2x4 engineering, you see, point number one is that as Sudesh brought out, if you are lucky enough, you will get a good guru. But the moment you get good guru, your things become easier. Simple example. ఇప్పుడు మనం నెట్వర్క్ చదివినప్పుడు, frankly speaking, you remember, recollect, మన గోవిందరావు గారు, he used to come with only with the chalk piece, and we referred only the notes, at least. So the things becomes easier. Whereas in power systems, since we were not given by any preachings by the guru, so మన లైబ్రరీకి 10 books రిఫర్ చేయాల్సి వచ్చింది అనమాట. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ ఈస్ బై డిస్టింక్షన్. నౌ సెకండ్ పాయింట్, వితౌట్ గురు వెదర్ వీ కెన్ అచీవ్ ఎక్సలెన్స్. యు సీ సర్టన్ గురూస్ ఆర్ దేర్, లైక్ గురు ద్రోణాచార్య ఇస్ దేర్. హీ డిడ్ంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ గురు, బట్ Arjun had the Dronacharya guru, he became number 1 in archery. So it becomes easier, like coach. But why that coach who is actually coaching that sports person who is getting a gold medal, why that coach could not get the gold medal? He didn't have the talent, but he's got the talent to train somebody. So the person who is having a talent, if he got the guru, it becomes icing on the cake, and then he can excel. Without guru, then it becomes a little more difficult. But there are certain people like Dronacharya, he didn't have any guru. But the guru is so important. I mean, these are all my own thought process. So that is the way today, you see, after 5,000 years also, the name of the award is Dronacharya Award. So that means the guru is so important. As Sudesh brought out, if you are lucky, you will get a good guru, and so that your excellence will be more with less time. If you don't have that guru, and this is what is my understanding and my feeling and my thought process. I hope.
Yes. Yeah,
and his spirituality I cannot speak. But the P.S. Murthy, I got one question. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
You see, now, frankly speaking,
If I
as
can't answer, Suresh will answer.
no, no. P.S. Murthy will answer. My question is now, first as what is it, Gangadhar brought out, it was a little difficult to understand, but something, some 20% we could understand. But what is my question is, you see, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we may not, I mean, at least I may not understand fully, but actually get some knowledge and how a human being has to survive in this world. One perspective will get it. If you read Ardhashastra, Chanakya, actually it all teaches how to survive in this cunning world. Now, if we listen your spirituality, kuch confusion ho jata hai. Now you see, simultaneously when I'm watching that in the regarding the Hong Kong or the Taiwan thing is going on, and but all these things is because power mongering. So now taking all this four into consideration, my question is how to survive in this world. Whether we have to follow Gita, we have to follow your spirituality, we have to follow this Chanakya's Ardhashastra to be a cunning to survive in this world. Thoda little confusing. Can you just throw some light and enlighten how to survive in this world?
You are 56 years now, I think. You have survived
57.
till now. You are without any of this knowledge, either Bhagavad Gita or. So what else you want?
You want to follow the direction. So Ravi Shankar.
Whatever you have followed till Bhagavad Gita or Chanakya Arthashastra. What you followed, I don't know. But you have managed, no? All of us have managed.
No, but we did not achieve the success, na? Like you see,
What is success?
Success is success that is separate. वो पूरा the topic ही change हो जाता है. But that life went on. Success means what? We're not ambitious. Whatever we are happy, but success means like Modi became the prime minister. Whether he followed Shastra or Gita, we do not know. Not that he ambitious or success, but basically that means without this knowledge, we lived our life normal way. But ups and downs seen, sometimes faced problems and all. But to be not success, to be happy, as Gangadhar brought out, how what is the correct methodology? That I mean.
So you mean to say if you follow one of these two, Bhagavad Gita and Arthashastra, you become Modi? You were saying that? Are you saying that?
Which I am very confident. If you follow this Ardhashastra, very minutely, we will have more strength to survive in this world. That is what is my feeling.
My point is, without knowing, you are surviving. No? Well, no? You are happy.
Surviving. Happy.
So what else you want?
Okay.
Beyond
I don't know. Sudesh, you can answer if you.
Well, you answered it. You answered it, PSM. For me, of all the definitions of success that I heard it in a movie called The Circle. Okay. The success is knowing your full potential and living up to the potential. Okay. If your potential is to become prime minister, you have to become prime minister. If your potential is to become, say, whatever you are, and becoming full of that is success. You can't say I haven't become prime minister, hence I'm not successful. Okay, so success is not relative. Success is you say I know my potential is to clean the house perfectly. Did I clean the house perfectly? And then you are successful. So that's I thought is a beautiful definition of success, where it removes the relativity completely and makes it you as your own measure. And for that, you say, my potential is to understand the reality of life, then you need Bhagavad Gita. If your potential is I want to excel in the field of economics, you need Arthashastra. So you would say, what is my potential? Now, spirituality says your potential is infinite, right? That's what spirituality says. Your potential is infinite. Now, if you take that as your potential, and living up to that infinite potential is success. For that, you need Not just Gita. Reading Gita is only one part of it. Getting the qualification to read Gita, which is what PSM has given the whole thing, is get your qualifications, get your mental stability, get your concentration, get your noise reduced. That is, you need practice for that. So you're combining Arthashastra and Bhagavad Gita is saying, do you want to wear a shirt or a pant? Okay, that's not a choice. Green shirt or white shirt, that is a choice. Should I wear a shirt or should I wear a pant? That is not a choice. Okay, so you need to say what is that I want, what is my potential, and am I living up to the potential, and what are the tools I am using to live up to my potential. As simple as that.
Good.
Thank you. Good.
Anyway, so I think we are already 10 minutes past our time limit.
So before we close, Sudesh, I need a couple of minutes.
Sure, yeah.
This is a wonderful poem about Guru, and what Guru does to you. I want to read this. Kabir has written this. It is the mercy of my true Guru that has made me know the unknown. I have learned from him how to walk without feet, to see without eyes, to hear without ears, to drink without mouth, to fly without wings. I have brought my love and meditation to the land where there is no sun and moon, nor day and night. Without eating, I have tasted the sweetness of nectar, and without water, I have quenched my thirst. Where there is the response of delight, there is the fullness of joy. Where there is the response of delight, there is the fullness of joy. Before whom can that joy be uttered? Kabir says, Guru is beyond words, and great is the good fortune of the disciple.
Wonderful, beautiful. Do you have the Hindi word for this?
Before you go further, where there is a response of delight, there is the fullness of joy. This I have seen several times when I have traveled with Rama to Narmada. He just sits there and his tears keep flowing. So there is a response. The river has that connection that brings so much of joy, tears of joy to him. How can that happen? Do we let it happen? Such a thing happen to us? So there are two things, what the river does to us, and am I letting it happen? So Rama lets it happen to him. That's how it's happening. I am through. Thank you.
Hey, you have the Hindi version, actual version of poem?
I can get it.
Great, wonderful.
Great, Murthy. Murthy, presentation atla 3-4 సార్లు చూసిన తర్వాత we may get exact the essence of the thing. Maybe Sudesh ఈ PPT కొద్దిగా share చేయాలి.
I can share with you.
So,
I want to go word by word. In the short span lo, I didn't get into my head.
I will put the video. I'll put the video on the YouTube.
Gangadhara, we are on the same boat, Gangadhara.
Rama is annadu. Rama ఏంటంట?
You have to read between the words also.
Yes. The spaces in between also.
We are all on the same word. I just want
very interesting, right? The particular presentation
topic, yeah.
I think it took us to
whatever the gaps in between the lines, Rama will clear when we go to Bangalore.
డిసెంబర్ లో సుదేష్ ఇది కూడా ఒక రావి చెట్టు చూసుకొని మనం అందరం దాని కింద కూర్చున్నాం.
Very
good, great.
Okay. Great. Anything else? I'm stopping recording. We can talk if you want, but I'm stopping right now. Okay.
Thanks, Srinu.
Thank you. And then, yeah.